Hello, beautiful souls. Hello. Annie G here, and welcome to Annie Around the Wild. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for being here on my small little channel. I really appreciate each and every one of you for being here so much. Oh my goodness. So I'm just going to jump right into it. So how has it been? Here I am. The military, a bunch of military has officially been here, for a full day now. And so how has it been finding a spot for us? So I'm going to get into that a little bit for you guys. So I kind of like really had to change things around. Now I did have to, I'm not going to stay around LA anymore. So one thing that did happen is my van, it has an antenna outside, attached to the car. And that antenna has a rubber like piece to it, so it like helps to keep rain out and things like that, humidity, whatever, what have you, right? It just keeps moisture out. So, security, sorry, they hopefully won't come here. So, what was I just saying? Yeah, the rubber piece. So, it stops, moisture from getting in, for your little satellite like antenna thing. So what had happened is in one of the places in LA that I was spending the night, apparently someone ripped it off. And at first I didn't think that someone actually would come and just take that stupid rubber piece off like that, and I thought maybe it was just from the elements, from being in really hot, and then a lot of humidity, when I was at the beach, and I thought maybe, just elements got to it, until I actually went to O'Reilly's to see how much the part costs and everything, because it is a part that I had to replace because it's important. It's something that stops moisture from getting into the antenna, so it's something that's needed, right? So I had to look into that. So I did. I went and I got it replaced. Now it's there. It's back on. They helped me put it back on and everything. But once I actually saw the process of the gentleman who helped me at O'Reilly's, I asked him to help me put it on. And once I saw the process of how he actually had to put it on, yeah, definitely, there's no question in my mind anymore. For sure, 100%, somebody messed with my car. Somebody came and specifically messed with my antenna's little rubber piece, and was it tore it into pieces. And a part of it was stuck on the inside. So you have to open the hood to get to the inside part. And so that rubber piece was stuck in there. And so once I saw how everything was played out, I was like, yeah. And then when I was talking to the employee about this, the gentleman, he as a joke, he sarcastically was pretty much he was saying yeah, no shit, someone fucked with your shit. But yeah, so that happened. So I don't want to be anywhere near there. So I'm at more neighborhood areas that are a lot more nicer areas. But let's just keep in mind, and these places are not on iOverlander, it's just places I know of. And they're just nicer areas, nicer locations, things like that. But I have to be more careful because they're nicer areas and everything. I mean, I'm not bothering anyone. I'm just here trying to live, I'm just in my van. I'm not coming outside really that much. I'm not doing anything. I'm not bothering anyone. I'm not making noise, so I am being as stealth as and respectful as I can. And I did decide to be at a zoo. This is the second day I've been at this zoo parking lot, and during the day, not to spend the night, but just to spend my day. I feel safe here. I have, I wanted to record earlier, but there was police going really fast towards LA. So the heart of LA. And so like I said, it's there's a lot of mayhem and chaos going on, especially now. At first it was just protests, and it wasn't really there wasn't such disruption. But once, like, you know, the president, like once the higher ups like threatened, not only threatened, but actually put into effect the military to come out here, that's when things exploded into complete mayhem and chaos. That's when people started getting really aggressive and things started to become what it is right now. And I mean, you know, obviously they're fighting for their rights. I mean, are you kidding me? It's really ridiculous. And now there's apparently, like, on Saturday, there's like a military parade that's happening. I mean, I'm so sorry for getting political, you know, like even on my last thing, but this is part of my van life, you know. This whole channel is based on my van life, and right now my van life, I'm in the midst of here, you know. This is where I'm located, and there's like mayhem that's broken loose, and obviously, you know, it's getting in the way of me going and maneuvering. So it's kind of hard not to talk about this huge thing that's happening here in the midst of LA. You know, how could you not talk about it? If you're a human being, you talk about it, you know. So it's hard to not bring something like that up when it's affecting all areas of everything, you know. So yeah, it's not safe, really. And it's not just like people who are angry, the officers are also angry. And then also there's like starting to be places where, okay, so cops are hiding. So cops are hiding places, waiting to like pull people over so that they have a legal reason to like ask you for your ID and stuff. So it's really crazy. So there's cops everywhere. I don't know, man. And then there's like checkpoints and stuff for no reason, you know, and it's just like, whew. So I was just trying to get away from that, and getting away from that meant coming into more like residential places where it's like the more like upper class areas, you know, I should say. It's not the most upper class, but it is upper class. And so I mean, you know, I don't know what else to do. And you know what? And it's not just me. You know, even though these places are not on iOverlander, it's not just me. Other van lifers are here using this parking lot, because this is this zoo parking lot is huge. It goes like, it's like a couple football fields long, you know, like it's really, really, really big. And so I'm on like this side where like the van lifers are chilling more, where it's kind of away from everything else. And it's nice because the parking lot has a lot of different trash bins dispersed, so you can just throw your trash away and things like that. You don't really have to worry about like accumulating trash and smell in your car and everything like that, which is really nice. But yeah, it's not just me, you know, everyone who's in van life is using this parking lot as their like place of solitude, because there isn't really a lot of places, you know. When you're a full-time van lifer, like, let's just be honest, it's like when you're a full-time van lifer in a situation and in a time like this, where are you, like, where are you left to go? You know, where are we, like, what are we left to really do? We're left with very minimum like options and choices, and it just is what it is, right? So we just have to kind of like be able to not only problem solve, but just kind of like work through the challenges, like, because it's just, hopefully this won't take too long. But at the same time, I was watching the news, and apparently the military is going to be here for at least 30 days, in quotes of the president and higher up, and you know, which is insane. They are not needed here. So it's really crazy how like taxpayer money is just like, you know, it's really crazy. It's so sad. I mean, there's helicopters everywhere. I keep hearing cops, and I'm still away from it all, you know? So there's like no getting away from it. You know, LA is big, and there's still no getting away from it. It's very difficult, you know, trying to get away from like the chaos and the mayhem, because even like neighborhoods that are usually just silent and chill and whatever, even they are rising up and speaking out and doing things and being active. So, just it's very difficult finding and maneuvering a place. But yeah, so far during the day, I'm using this like zoo parking lot as my like go-to for my during the day spot to hang out. I found a nice like shaded spot. Knock on wood, so far I haven't had to worry about like insects and stuff, so that's been a good thing. So I like this. There's other van lifers here, again, like I said, who are using this place as their sanctuary too. So that makes me feel a little more secure also at the same time. Oh my God, that like it's not just me, my goodness. But yeah, things are crazy. I don't really know where we're gonna go tonight because we can't stay again where we were last night. So I need to find a place to go tonight. So definitely need to find a place for tonight. And it definitely obviously has to be safe and quiet and leveled for the most part, and like away from these riots. So I need to really spend some time on Overlander. I do have some spots, but it's only 3 spots that I really have that are my go-tos for at night. But how often can I really go to just those 3 spots? You know what I mean? And so if there's been like the order that this is going to be going on for another 30 more days, and actually like the last conference, it was said that it was going to be going on, like this whole military stuff was going to be going on indefinitely until it's not needed. But like it's not needed now when they're here, so what does that mean really? So how long is that really going to take? Is it going to be longer than 30 days? Is this going to be like what's going to happen? And I just think like this is so crazy. Like all people were doing were protesting, and he's trying to make it seem like it was a war zone that needed like you don't call the Marines and National Guards, unless there's like invasion. Like what is the legal terms for when they're legally supposed to be called? It's basically an invasion of another country or something, or what invasion, what country, other country, what invasion? There's no, people. Ooh, my drink was about to spill. What invasion? There's like no need for any of this craziness to happen. And he has just caused complete mayhem in the streets of LA. And of course people are gonna be pissed. Like you're messing with people's right to free speech. Do you realize, like, all of you talking shit about Iran and stuff, and here you are in America threatening Americans their freedom of speech, their freedom to go and protest. This isn't our Constitution. These are our American rights. And he's having a dictatorial military parade on Saturday, okay? And everyone is against this. And this is all taxpayer money, Why is not more people erupting? I don't understand. But it's just crazy. It's crazy. Like he sent an entire military force just for protesting. Just for that. And then for Saturday, for his military parade, before I say that, do you even realize that only dictators have military parades where you're forced to clap, like as if you follow them and stuff? That is something only dictator countries do. Like North Korea, like Russia, I'm sorry to get political, but you can't not. It's such a huge part of what is going on around here right now, And so Saturday, we're about to have in America, in the United States of America, okay? I'm a Texas-born American freaking citizen, okay? Here in freaking America, okay, we're about to have a dictatorial military style parade. there's nothing left to say. And then so another way he's threatening, so the American president is literally threatening not only the people of LA and Chicago and New York, because apparently he's been doing this in those states too before he came here to Los Angeles, you know, and I mean, before, you know, it's just, that's how he has started. And now for Saturday's parade, he said that if there's any, he basically threatened violence, okay, military violent force, okay, his own words, okay. The American president threatened the American people, his own people, with violence if they protest that day against the freaking parade out in Washington. So if anyone protests, there's going to be very harsh and violent consequences. Best fucking believe, okay? That is taking away our freedom of speech in every way, shape, and form. So now not only are like social media platforms, you know, stopping us from talking about certain things, but look at what is going on now. You know, this is just crazy. I can't believe what's happening here. I can't believe what's happening in our country. I can't believe what's about to happen on Saturday. I can't believe it. This is like, I'm just curious as to what the history books are going to say about this moment. I'm really, really, really curious as to how the words are going to play out in the history books, what like the future kids are going to read about this. Oh man. So yeah, needless to say, it is very, 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 very difficult to find a safe place to sleep, but I am handling it, and I'm trying to handle it in safe residential areas. And it makes it harder because, you know, safe residential areas, you know, there's like for example, not everyone has to work in the household, and so like there's more people who are home all the time during the day, during the weekdays, and so it makes it a little like you can be more noticeable because there's more people just walking around during the day instead of being at work because they're more like financially okay, I guess. So there's that big difference. There are more people who like, you know, spend their time and walk around the neighborhood and stuff like that. So, you know, a lot on a weekday at noon. So, you know, there's that. But yeah, so I'm just spending the day at the zoo. That's what I choose to do. And I just feel safe here. I really do feel safe here. I don't really know where else to go. That's like, sorry, there's a lot of people. That's like a too much of a better option. So this is a pretty big area, and there's a lot of different areas in this big spot other than the zoo. But yeah, for now I'm just gonna like keep it locked down here and just call it a day with that, and worry about where we're gonna spend the night tonight later, I guess. I don't know. I have some options, but like how much can I just keep those rotations going? So I feel like I need to find a new spot, like another spot, a new spot. So yeah, we're gonna go and see if we can do that and find a different area. So I'm just gonna like really sit down and spend some extra time on iOverlander and see what other options I can find. But for the most part, yeah, we're stealth camping. And I'm actually thinking of like if things start getting worse, or if things stay how they are even, I'm thinking we might just go to the mountains, or I'm thinking of going to the BLM lands, like the Bureau of Land Management. But at the same time, all the BLM lands that are around me, every time I go, it's like a kind of a road that I can't really drive in, but I can maybe find options like on the side of the roads and stuff over there around the camp areas, and that's usually okay to do. So I'm really highly thinking of doing something like that, because yeah, I just don't know. But at the same time, those areas are all kind of further out in those in those areas. So I don't really know like how like the police situation is in those lands, like because it's free public land, maybe the police is going there, you know, maybe they're having like, you know, maybe like they're going and checking those places out. Like I don't really know, but these are all things I'm thinking about, you know, because there's a lot of shit going on, you know, there's a lot of things going on. There's a whole other set of variables that just opened up in our like finding a place to stay to like maneuver and figure out. So it's just a matter of staying like adaptable, you know, and just like really staying adaptable like as much as we can. So that's what I'm trying to do. And yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna definitely sit back a little bit and just like really try to see in the vicinity of only like a 20-minute, you know, area all around, left, right, side, side, left, right, side. But yeah, so I'm gonna see like where we could go that's like, I don't know, only like 20 minutes away or something, not too far of a drive, you know, because I don't want to like have a heavy stressor on my baby girl. So yeah, we shall see. For now, she's taking her beautiful cat nap, so that's really good. So oops, hitting my sparkling water as long as it doesn't explode. So yeah, you know, we're just trying to stay cool in this heat by just, you know, finding good spots to park in and trying to keep things as cool as we can. These fans are really helping, and just trying to stay away from the chaos, you know, trying to stay away from all the mayhem, trying to keep it low key and safe, you know, and away from all like siren noises and crazy noises, and people are like blowing up firecrackers and stuff, which obviously scares the shit crackers out of freaking pets. So trying to just stay away from the mayhem, you know, that is ensuing, because it's during the day and at night. At night it's just worse, but it's during the day too, you know, it's not just like a certain time of day, it's everywhere at all times. Things are just popping up that like, you know, you're just hanging out somewhere you thought was quiet, and all of a sudden there's a whole group of people that are coming in. Now there's something starting. So it's like you just got to stay away from the area, and you know, other van lifers are seeing it too, so other people are doing the same thing, you know, and they're like finding sanctuary. Like for example, in this parking lot, there's a lot of people that are like repeat people that I've noticed for the past 2 days. So that again makes me feel more comfortable, like, okay, cool, hello fellow van lifers, you know. Yeah, you know, let's take refuge together from the chaos. But yeah, yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna definitely, after I record this, I'm definitely gonna go on iOverlander and see what there is. Maybe even see some of the boondocking spots and see if I can find some boondocking spots, because yeah, I mean the boondocking is all on the BLM land, so that's I need to go check out the BLM lands and see what's going on with that. But yeah, without further ado, remember everybody to stay safe out there. Stay safe, stay true to yourself, and remember to stay wild and free. Mwah. I love you all so much. Thank you so much for being here. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. It really does help my small little channel out. And with that said, bye everybody.